Hey YouTube gun people, I want to talk to you about pistol magazines for 1911 pistols today. Pistol magazines, no matter what kind of semi-auto you shoot, they're really the bane of your existence. When your pistol magazine shits the bed, it's a real problem. So as far as magazines go, when you think about magazines, you want durability, reliability. It's got to feed well, it's got to be able to be seated reliably, and it's got to be durable. You know, you have to be able to service it, clean it. You know, I think you get what I'm saying. It needs to lock back the slide when it's empty to get you to slide lock. So those are what you're looking for in magazines. And there's just some manufacturers are better than others. Here's an example of a manufacturer that kind of gets on my nerves. This is actually the magazine. It's made by ACMAG. I'm not sure if you can see that. Maybe you can. It came with this Smith & Wesson 1911. But fair enough, I got a lot of use out of it. Here's the problem with ACMAG. I think they make an okay magazine. Their customer service is pretty weak. Pretty bad customer service. So here's a magazine where the floor plates come off, but actually between the spring and the floor plate there's a metal retaining plate with a piece of metal sticking out of it that goes into your floor plate here to retain it, and actually you can see in this magazine that without that floor plate in there, this thing just comes right off. So this fell apart at a competition, and I've been trying to, instead of spending another $30-40 in a magazine trying to contact ACMAG or finding, who makes that replacement part, base plate retainer. If anybody knows who makes them for ACMAG or that will fit an ACMAG, let me know so I don't have to trash this magazine. But ACMAG, I've sent them many emails, no response, no reply at all. That's not good business, and that makes me wonder. I also called Smith & Wesson. They said, well, we don't make the magazines. We don't warranty the magazines. Evidently, we warranty the pistols. Call the manufacturer of the magazine. Thanks. All right, so that magazine's crap. So what do I think a good magazine is, actually? In my opinion, I think the best magazine on the market for 1911 style single stacks, or at least certainly one of the best magazines, are made by this company, Trip Research. And these magazines called Cobra Mags. Let's take a look at them. I feel strongly enough that I got a few of them recently. A few in 9mm, some in 45 ACP. I have more of these magazines. Here's what I like about them. They're, first of all, the company is great. It's a small company. I think you have to buy directly from Trip, so you can look them up online. Let's get this out of the plastic. There's the information for them. I'm hoping you can see that okay. That's how you contact them. Go to their website. They have an online store. Buy them. I'm not endorsed by these guys. Here's some more information that you might need, and some more contact info for Trip right here. What do I like about these magazines? Well, first of all, they're a seriously robust magazine. They actually boast that they're the best magazine company. I actually think that's true. They make, these happen to be 8-round magazines of 45 ACP. They have a composite follower. It's no tilt. It will not tilt on you in any way, shape, or form. They have a very robust spring. The body of the magazine is one piece. There's no seams here. And the follower is a composite. It's got a polymer here to allow good stripping of the round off that magazine, and it's got a metal part underneath it here that allows the gun to reliably go into slide lock. Super reliable. You can beat the crap out of these magazines. They won't fail you. I'd seriously give them a look. If we take these are snap caps. As I said, these pistols have already been checked. I will check them again. It's no magazine. There's nothing in the chamber. point the firearm in a safe direction. Gun's clear. So here we have a snap cap in this magazine. Put a couple of them in there. First of all, they're easy to load. That polymer piece slides up and down really well, and it's easy to insert around in there. They seat very in a very positive, secure way. You hear that clicking in there. That magazine's seated very well, and they pop right out. So it's a very positive click. Seated, magazine seated. If you wrap back your firearm to chamber around, they also chamber very well, and no hiccups. So you're not going to. It's more unlikely that you'll get a round coming off that magazine, being stripped off that magazine weird, or you'll get a malfunction. Most magazines you'll get from a manufacturer fine. If you're just going to the range, you're going to shoot at a target a little bit. It really comes down to when you really push your gun. What do you need in a magazine? I think you need something very robust. The 9mm magazines, I really like them. These are 10-round 9mm magazines. They also sell longer magazines for other purposes. These magazines tend to be for 9. So basically, a 9mm 1911 magazine is essentially the same exact size in every dimension. You can see it here. As the 45. Actually, most of them, the only difference really is the feed lips, right? These guys use a different follower too on the 9mm because the shape of the round's different. Also non-tilt follower. They both have witness holes, so you can see if you're completely loaded up on both sides. Forgot to mention that. The 9mm magazines typically can also deal with 38 Super, except that if you can see right in here, this metal piece, because of the length of the round, for instance a 9mm versus a 38 Super, the length of the round is shorter, so there's actually a spacer back here. Now the Trip magazines actually have a metal insert in here that takes up that extra space, right? So magazine's the right dimensions. You're just making the internal dimensions smaller by putting a spacer to accommodate a 9mm round rather than a 38 Super round. This is actually welded in here, and it's a piece of steel, okay, stainless. Now, a lot of other manufacturers that make 1911 magazines for the 9mm will actually use a plastic insert. So I think this is just in terms of durability, just a much nicer, more sturdy magazine. And you can see the standard trick of the way you fix that round is to put an indentation in the magazine on both sides to take up that space, right? 45. If you put the dent in there on both sides, it's narrower, so it keeps your round from moving left to right. Anyway, that's I'm sure a riveting video for you on 1911 magazines. You know, again, if you shoot 1911s, you have to really keep in mind that the bane of your existence, actually for any semi-auto, particularly 1911s, can be sensitive to this, the magazines. So these are actually reasonably priced. You can look the price up online. They're $30-something a piece in the realm of magazines. That's not bad. But you know, it's a piece of equipment that you need. To me, you know, obviously, not to me, but just the reality of it is that without good functioning reliabilities, you might as well have a handgun without a firing pin in it. So it's an absolutely critical part of your shooting, and not to be overlooked.